Hey guys, Dylan here, and today I have something really exciting to show you. It's our flagship model, the new DMH-WT6000NEX. This radio really redefines what you expect from an aftermarket head unit, and we're going to break it down, from the design philosophy to all the new features, the initial setup, and we're even going to take a look under the hood. The specs on this thing are unmatched. Let's jump into it. First, I want to talk a little about the design philosophy and the foundation of the WT6000NEX. This really starts with how people use their car and their radio every day. Driving isn't about digging through menus and unstable connections. It's about quick access, clear information, and technology that just works. This forward thinking and then surveys with real drivers just like you that we spent months getting feedback, going back and forth, figuring out what people really wanted. And all of that led to CESX, which stands for Convenience, Entertainment, Safety and Security, and Expandability. These are the principles that guided every decision in this radio, and you're going to see it all the way through, from the display all the way down to the internals and the new UI. The first thing you notice is the giant crystal clear LED backlit 10.1-inch floating HD display. With a crisp 720p resolution, it feels more like a high-end tablet than a traditional car stereo. This really sets the 6000 above the competition right from the get-go. It also uses just a singled-in chassis, which opens up a lot of fitment possibilities for old classic cars or really whatever you want to put it in. Keeping safety and convenience in mind, the next thing you'll notice right away is the industry-first Luminous Bar, which adds a ton of functionality to the 6000. My favorite feature is going to be the turn-by-turn directions, which alerts you of upcoming turns while navigating. So, if you don't have the map up on the screen, you won't miss a turn. This feature is also smart enough to adjust based off of your speed. So if you're on the freeway, it's going to notify you of an upcoming exit much sooner than if you're driving 25 miles an hour through a neighborhood. The Luminous Bar also has 2 different music modes. These do only function while you're parked, so just keep that in mind. And last, but definitely not least, it also adds a parking mode as another safety feature. I like to think of this as Night Rider mode, keeping people out of your car. We have also added dedicated volume and mute buttons on the top of the radio, bringing back that high-end tablet feel. Personally, I've always preferred to have physical buttons, but on these big screen, a knob just takes up too much space. The side-mounted volume buttons are a sleek way to make changing the volume much more convenient. Now on the internal specs, the 6000NEX is an absolute beast with a massive power supply housing 28,700 microfarads of capacitance. This is the largest power supply of any Pioneer head unit to date, and that's really important. If you think about it, the power supply in an electronic is just like the engine of your car, right? It's what supplies power to everything. The power supply sends power to all the components. This large power supply is what allows the 6000 to feel so snappy and responsive as you're using it. The next factor in that snappiness is the new quad-core 64-bit processor, which is also paired with 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM. This new processor was specifically designed for this radio, and it also has a little Easter egg. You pop the hood off, open it up, look inside, you're actually going to see the word dolphin right on the top of that chip. I don't know if this was intentional, but if you know, you know. There's also a new dual-core 32-bit DAC that works alongside the main 64-bit processor. You get 5 volts of RCA pre-outs and also improved Wi-Fi and Bluetooth chips to ensure stable wireless connections for CarPlay and Android Auto. Speaking of wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, we've also added quick swipe control, where you can quickly and easily swipe from the home screen back into CarPlay with this menu right here. If you swipe down, it takes you home. If you swipe up, it's going to take you right back into Apple CarPlay. Again, just making things as simple and convenient as possible, sticking to that CESX philosophy. Now, these are just a few of the great new features in the 6000NEX. Next, I want to walk through the setup, what it's going to look like when you first get it into your car, and also how to use it with the new PxLink app, which is going to show you how to customize everything, the quick access menu, customize your wallpapers, as well as customize the home screen. So let's walk through that now. All right, now I'm going to walk you through the setup of the 6000 with our new PxLink app. First, you're going to select your language. You see network mode and standard mode. This is controlling the DSP of the built-in amplifier of the 6000. If you select network mode, it's going to give you high, low, and mid outputs for your RCAs. It doesn't affect the speaker wire, just your RCA outputs. This would let you run a front active three-way setup to where the amplifier would run your tweeters and your mid bass and a subwoofer. Standard mode is your traditional front, rear, and sub output. So we'll leave it on standard for now. Click OK. We're going to skip this step. And then I'm going to go and disable demo mode so that doesn't keep popping up for us. That is just right here in the settings. The next thing we're going to do is come over to the phone. So here's PxLink. You're going to get greeted, hit next on these steps, and click start. Next thing that's going to pop up is the terms of service. You do have to scroll in order to accept these. So we'll scroll down, hit accept, scroll down again, hit accept. Now, here's where you'll set up your account. If you need to register a new account, you just hit here if this is your first time. I already have an account, so I'm just going to sign in. All right, now I'm logged into the app. The next thing I'm going to do is set up Apple CarPlay. So we're going to come over to settings on the phone, go to Bluetooth, and it's going to find the radio. So we'll select the 6000NEX. Would you like to pair with this device? Click yes and pair. Allow contacts if you want. And connect Apple CarPlay. We'll click yes to use Apple CarPlay wirelessly. And allow CarPlay to check for apps. Now we're going to want to set up PxLink and pair that with the radio. The next thing you have to do is come home, go to Sources, Connection, and hit the little Bluetooth icon. That's going to disable CarPlay. We have to do that in order for PxLink to communicate the first time. So hit that. Apple CarPlay will be disconnected. Hit OK. You'll notice the phone and the music icons. That means you're paired to just Bluetooth. CarPlay is grayed out. Now we're going to come over and register a Pioneer receiver. So we'll hit Start. Bluetooth permission is required. Hit Next. Hit Allow. Hit Next. Confirm. Now it's going to search again for the 6000. Once the radio pops up, we'll select it and hit Connect. Now it's going to connect Bluetooth low energy, which is the way that the app pairs with the radio. So hit pair. Bluetooth low energy is connected. We'll press next. Now we need to connect Wi-Fi. This is why we have to disable CarPlay. Hit next, allow, and the phone and radio will pair. Safely park your vehicle. You do have to be stopped, so that'll just go away. We'll click join. And then after a couple seconds, the radio and the phone connection will be established. We can push next here, hit OK. And after the last connection, you'll notice the PxLink icon up here and all of your quick access icons on the phone, and it says connected up here at the top. So if we go back home, you'll notice that these icons match your quick access menu over here, 1, 2, and 3. This is where we customize this. So if we hit the little edit icon up here, we can actually delete the icons that we don't want. So we can take these away. And then if we want to add some, we'll just select some of my favorite apps. I like to have WebLink on here, as well as some audio control settings. which would be mute. I do like mute on there. I also like to have my dimmer right here. And then one of my other favorites is backup camera. So I have the backup camera display here to be able to quickly access the backup camera right from the quick access menu over here. And we'll do one more. Let's do audio control, subwoofer on and off. So I can turn my subwoofer on and off right here as well. So we'll click done. And you can see as soon as I hit done, the quick access menu over here mirrored what I set up on my phone. Now let's look at how fast this is. As soon as I press the dim button, the radio dims. It's an immediate communication between the phone and the radio. It's one of my favorite parts. Next thing we can do is firmware updates. So if you hit the hamburger menu up here, hit firmware. If there's a new firmware available, it's going to download it right here and you can transfer it to the radio, going into settings, firmware update, and it'll walk you through the process right there if there is a new firmware available. Ours on the newest firmware already. Also, if you want to do a custom wallpaper, so if we hit the wallpaper icon, you can select an image from our library. We do have to allow access. You can select limited pictures or just full access. Select your image, resize it to fit, click save, and now our image is on the radio. Another way you can customize it is hitting the edit button here, and you can move these icons around. So say I don't want any of these other than Apple CarPlay because that's the main source that I use. We can get rid of all of these and leave CarPlay there. We can also come up here and disable the clock as well as disable the album artwork. So now you just have a clean slate, basically nothing on the screen other than CarPlay. Say we want CarPlay to be in the top left, we can move it up here. If you want to bring icons back, you just hit add, choose what icon you want. Say we have Sirius XM, add that there. We can also add our car sources. So if you're using iDataLink Maestro or car features with your gauges and stuff like that. So if we add that, that'll just quickly take us one press into the Maestro menu if you have the Maestro, interface already connected to the radio. And that is how you use PxLink app and set up the 6000NEX for the first time. And there you have it. That's pretty much everything there is to know about the new DMH-WT6000NEX. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.